As promised, I waited 30 very long days to give an update because I've stayed outside the hive. And so today, my son and his new bride helped me with the hide. They were a little concerned about being stung, so they kind of kept their distance there. But my son took pictures, and these pictures are going to come by pretty quickly. But so you can stop this video at any time and take a closer look at the video, the images if you want. But we're starting with Hive 1, and we're looking for progress from a queen. And this is the honey super, and we're starting from left to right. And so we're just taking a picture of each side of each frame, so you get an idea. And along with requeening, I'm also kind of doing an experiment to see which the bees like better, the plastic frames or the honeycomb frames. So here you can see we're going through here, as I mentioned, pretty quickly, and we're not seeing a lot of anything on any of these frames in the first honey super. I have 2 honey supers on each of these beehives. We do see some honey on as we get to the sides, or the either side of the box. But in the frames in the middle, like frames 3 through 6, don't really have much honey and haven't been combed much at all. Then there's my son taking a picture of his wife, and here they are kind of messing around when I'm moving to the next frame, the next honey box down. And this one, so I'm now in the second honey box. This one even has less pulled comb, and you notice how few bees there are. This is the hive that the queen wasn't laying, and so we pinched her, and I moved some larvae over from hive 2 into hive 1. But as you can see, there are very few bees here in these 2 honey supers, and there's very little activity. Well, I think there's very little activity because there's no honey flow, and so they're just kind of hanging around, not really doing anything. You can see where they started pulling the comb on that one. So my experience has been that now these black or these plastic frames have been in there since day 1, and I recently added these beeswax frames a month ago. 30 days ago. So some have been pulled and some of them haven't, but what my experience has been, it doesn't make any difference whether it's plastic or honey, whether it's beeswax frames. What makes all the difference in the world is if there is a honey flow. So if there's no pollen and there's no nectar, the bees aren't going to pull anything because there's no reason to pull it. And so anyway, we haven't found any difference here. So here we're getting into the brood box. And we're really looking closely for any, and these are all empty cells here, we're looking for any indication that there's larvae or eggs. And we actually found none, no larvae and no eggs, and we found no queen. Now the first picture in this update was me showing my son and his wife what a drone looks like and what a queen looks like on the Bee Culture magazine, because that's for August 2011. The cover was perfect for that. It had a bunch of queen bees surrounding a drone. So we kind of all were looking for that queen, didn't see the queen at all, and didn't see any representation that a queen was there by having any larvae or eggs. This is, again, completely empty. This is the brood box right here. You can see there's nothing in here. As we get closer to the edge, then there's some honey, but other than that, there's nothing. Now, when we moved over, so this looks like the last frame here in this box. When we move over to hive number 2, there, which you can see I'm doing right here, there is bees everywhere, and lots, as you can see, of capped larvae here. So you can see the difference between the number of bees between these two different hives, and this is in the brood box, and the number of capped brood. So, and we saw uncapped brood also. I also noticed that she is laying eggs in the second, what I would call honey super. So the box above the brood box. She's up there laying eggs in there, and those were fresh eggs. And here we're putting everything back. So the queen in Hive 2 is very, very active and laying lots and lots of eggs. And I think we've got absentee queen in Hive 1, and this is where we're done, and the kids are off home dancing. So having a fun time going back in. So I don't see any indication of queen in Hive 1, and want to get what your recommendations would be, what to do at this point. Do I just let it go? Do I take some larvae and some eggs from Hive 2 and put them in there? And if so, how much? Or do I try to get a swarm and take the queen and the bees and put it in Hive 1, or just take the swarm queen and put it in there? I'd like to get your recommendations. So that's where we are. That's the update. Any comments, recommendations would be very helpful. Feel free to either email me, PM me for a private message, or put a comment below this video. But any information, any comments would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. This is LDS Prepper out.